Hello and welcome to the Philippines. This is Bantayan Island, and we're going island hopping. Something I hadn't planned on doing, but my girlfriend started talking to this couple. The man and his wife owned the boat the previous evening. I thought we were going to head home, and they offered to take us on a day of island hopping for 1,000 Philippine pesos, about 20 US dollars. So I said, okay, let's do it. So we agreed to meet him at about 10 o'clock the next morning, and we pretty much had the boat to ourselves for the day. Now, there are a number of different tours that you can arrange, either through the owners of boats or through hotels, resorts, or people wandering out around the island. There's lots of motorbike drivers, tricycle drivers who have connections with these tour operators, with the boat owners. And for instance, our 1,000 peso trip, $20 trip, didn't include food. We were going to go and buy our food wherever and pay our entrance fees and all those kind of things by yourself. Now you can get on a tour. For instance, you can rent a boat like this for 5 or 10 or even little bit bigger boat for 20 people for between 3,000 and 4,000 pesos. Now that might include food or not. It might be more, and that's for the boat. So you split that up all among you, or one or two of you are going to pay, whatever. But it can become a pretty inexpensive tour if it's fully inclusive of all the fees, the entrance fees for each person. For instance, Virgin Island was 250 pesos a piece. Can be inclusive of all those types of things. You should understand that when you sign up for the tour, which islands you're going to go to. And we went to two islands and the Blue Lagoon. Went to Hilantagan Island. We went to Virgin Island and a place called the Blue Lagoon. And I'll show you a little bit around each of those. Virgin Island, very, very unique place. And I heard people say, oh yeah, you really need to go see it. And glad we did. This guy had a two-motor boat, two motors, and I suspect two propellers too. He started the smaller one to start to get us out of the shallower waters, and then once we were out a ways, he kicked in the bigger, faster motor, and that was good. At one point, as we were getting pretty close to coming back at the end of the day, the one motor kicked out, so we used the other one to get us on in. One other thing I wanted to mention, you can make any kind of arrangements with these boat owners or tour operators. Tell them, make sure you understand what you're getting, what you're paying for. If you want to bring the food and have them cook it on one of the islands, arrange for somebody to cook it for you, those kind of things. We actually stopped out here someplace. We did a little fishing. We gave him 100 pesos the night before to buy some bait to use, and he had some nylon line. We didn't have any fishing pole. We just used the line over the side, and he had some kind of I don't know, crackers or corn or something he would toss into the water to attract the fish, and did a good job. I did some snorkeling while she did a little fishing. Caught a couple of fish, first time in her life. Her father has a little banca boat, and he goes fishing quite regularly. I guess he likes fishing, and but she's never been fishing. She's never caught a boat or not caught a fish. And when she finally caught one, she was really excited. She says, "Now I understand what it's like to go fishing." Anyway, he did track quite a bit of fish. Kind of interesting down there. And snorkeling, there were a couple other boats there, people out snorkeling as well. So even though the lower tourist season, we had company, but it wasn't crowded at all. Pretty much had that whole area to ourselves. And I tried fishing. I didn't have any luck. I think these fish, we were giving them diabetes with what we're feeding them, the food, and
Yeah.
Oh,
You caught a fish.
yes,
You
yes,
caught a
yes,
fish.
yes, yes.
Oh,
Quack, 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 quack. Oh, yes. Wow.
I think our hooks might have been a little bit too big for some of those little fish, and I really didn't want to catch those little fish. I felt a lot of fish nibbling, and you know, I would tug every once in a while, but I did not catch any of those little fish, and that's fine with me. We could have stopped at that beach, decided to go on to uh, Virgin Island, and was about 40 minutes over to the first island where we fished, and about 30 minutes over to Virgin Island. This private island cost 250 apiece to get in when we were there. They have a number of activities on the island. You can rent a motorbike, you can rent a water bike, you can swim, of course, or snorkel. They have accommodations on the island. I'll try to give you a list of some prices. My pictures didn't come out very good because of reflection on their signs. But anything from a tent to a little cottage for two to cottage for 5 or even 10, I believe. Look at that water. Look how clear that water is. Just amazing. Amazing Philippines. They also have what they call a cliff diving area. And yes, I did dive, or I jumped at least. I jumped off of a, I think about I don't know, 10 or 15 foot high, and then I jumped off of a place that was 25 feet, 30 feet high. Told myself, no, I wasn't going to do that, but I did it. And yeah, here's some of the cottages. Do they have hot water there? I don't know the answer to that. Can you contact them and book online? I will try to look into that. I would certainly think that you could. And interesting place. Yeah, and you can rent tents out as well. I think you can bring your own as well. But that would be a bit of extra luggage to carry along with you. They have a number of these electric scooters on the island. It's not that far to walk, but anyway, 100 pesos to have the scooter take you out and bring you back from that cliff diving area, they call it. It's actually a scaffold build up with 3 different jumping levels, and I did jump off the top level. I really did. I've got pictures to prove it. I'll show you those just after I jump off that second level. So they have a couple different levels. They have lifeguards, and that's the higher level up there. And there's a stairways there to get back up. Down in there. All right. All right.
Too scary.
And now for the high jump. Somehow we ended up getting a burst of photos instead of a movie, and not quite sure how that happened. Actually, I do know how it does happen. But anyway, that was exhilarating. It was scary, and I was sure that I wasn't going to do it. I just went up there to look over the side, and just made a split-second decision to jump. I backed out of that situation before. They also have a resto bar there. They've got a restaurant, number of CRs, some different kayaks, paddle boards you can rent out. And here is some of the cottage prices. Difficult to read. I tried to block some of the reflection. But anyway, you can get a little bit of an idea of some of the prices, and that probably will change by the season also. From Virgin Island, we headed over to the Blue Lagoon back on Bantayan Island. And interesting place. I've seen some video of that from drones. You really get a beautiful view of it from the drones. This is not a white sand beach, but a relaxing kind of area. They've got a bunch of hammocks set up, and they were, I've never thought hammocks were very comfortable, but these were relatively comfortable. It kind of surprised me. And you could do a little snorkeling there, could do a little wandering around the area. They had some garbage there. This area, this lagoon back here, was actually formed in 2013. A big part of it was formed anyway by the Typhoon Yolanda that came through here. Did a lot of damage to Bantayan Island and the whole area up here, Malapascua Island and all the others. And talked to one lady in town, and she said, yeah, the only thing that was left was the CR, the comfort room, the toilet. So the CR has more uses than one. Anyway, this lagoon, and there's tape sectioning these off. It says danger areas because of the fast running current from the tide coming in and out. And we're back in front of just very near Santa Fe town. And notice the waves here. We're going to go around this point here. We're on kind of the northeast side. We're getting the wave action on this side. Once we get up around that point and take a right, I'm going to show you the video right about now how much calmer it is on that side. We've gone around the corner now. We're much more protected from the wind. Look how much calmer it is. So be aware of the prevailing winds when you decide to visit an area. You can check a site called windy.com, and you can actually look and see what the winds are like in your part of the country or here in the Philippines. And that's the high tourist season where you have those northeast winds coming from the northeast. So this side of the island is the calmer seas. Generally the wind picks up in the afternoon, late morning, afternoon. So even on the other side of the beach, facing the northeast, you will find that the ocean, the channel there is, I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but the sea is calmer in the morning generally, not always. There are a number of different cottages and resorts down this way as well. We spent about a little less than 5 hours on this trip, which was plenty for me. I had a good time, and if you sign up for something like that, I just recommend that you understand some of the details, what you're signing up for, and what you're paying for. And you could start very early in the morning and very late at night. So I think a lot of them are very flexible on how they do that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share the video, and please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.